Hey everybody, hope you guys have been well. So I was thinking about the monthly videos that I do for you guys on this channel and how I plan my weeks personally, and how you guys can kind of make the connection between what I say in my months and then how you guys can actually apply that to your lives. So it's not just a reading about like what's going on and what's going to happen, but it's something that you can make more actionable so that you can make your life easier, happier, just go a lot more smoothly than, it would be without it. You don't get caught by surprise by things. So basically in my monthly videos, what I do is I give you an overview of what's going on in the month, what led up to it, things that you should keep in mind or watch out for, and then how you can use that information going forward. And I kind of do the same thing with my weeks, where I basically look into how the week is going to go for me, and I kind of point out, right, I notice where the challenges are, what days they're going to be on, and what areas of my life they're going to be in, and how I'm going to feel. So those are the kinds of things that crop up whenever I look into my week. And I use that to plan out how to make my week the most effective and the most productive. So I guess there's different ways that you can plan your week. So there is the typical way that everybody talks about, and it's the more action-oriented way of planning out your week. And I 100% do this as well. I have categories that I look into, that I have categories that I plan for every single week. There's family, there's business, there's myself, there's friends, and each one of those categories has actions that I would like to accomplish that week. Now, I have a lot of things that I want to do in all those categories, but I don't do all of them. I would be way too overwhelmed and would not have time for really anything. I wouldn't have any time for the Trishna category. So what I do is basically in each category, I pick the top two. What are the top two things that would really make a difference in my life or their life if I did that this week? So in that sense, yeah, I plan my week according to actions. And then what I do is I look into my week on an energetic level, and that you guys can do the same thing when I give you the monthly reads. You look at like the energy of it. You hear what I'm saying about the energy of it. So I look into my week on the energetic level and I see, is there anything that I've missed? Is there anything that I should be doing that I haven't thought of? Is there anything that maybe I should be putting off? And I kind of incorporate that into my list. Is there some, and I reprioritize maybe based off of that. And then also, I think really the biggest key about my weekly reads and my weekly, like looking at the overview of my week, is that I can kind of see when I'm not going to be feeling my best, when I might be frustrated, when I'm going to have to work harder for something than I originally planned. And so let's say, like for this week, I think, yeah, let's go with week. So for this week, like the end of the week is going to be a lot more frustrating for me. I'm going to have to work harder. Things aren't going to work the way that I want them to. I'm going to have to figure out better ways to do things than the way that I'm currently doing them. And so knowing that, and then I also know that before that point, it's going to be smooth sailing. So knowing that, the way that I use that information is I'm like, all right, so at the end of the week, I'm going to be really frustrated, and I'm going to be trying to puzzle things out, and therefore I'm really not going to be that productive. Like I'm not going to get a lot done, except for on the things that are frustrating me that I'm going to be trying to puzzle out. But before that, everything's going to be smooth sailing. So I have all these things that I need to do. I'm going to do them when I know that things are going to go easily for me, when I know that things are going to go smoothly for me, so that then when I hit that frustrating point, I've already accomplished everything that I really wanted to for that week, and I feel good about it, and then I can just really focus on what's frustrating me. I can really take that time to think through the puzzle that I'm trying to solve, think through strategically what I need to do better, since that's what's going to be the theme for those days of my week, and really like maximize the impact of that versus having that frustration that I'm having to deal with, and then also not having accomplished what I could have and having the additional frustration on top of that. So it's like I take the action-oriented way of planning my week, but then I also take the emotions into account as well, because I just think that, like in that case of the frustration, if I didn't do everything that I could have done earlier in the week, and then I'm frustrated about being stuck, and then on top of that, I have frustrations about not having done enough. I should have done enough. Like I could have done so much more, now I've hit this problem. Like that really just holds you back. It holds you back from wanting to move forward. It holds you back from your thought process. And I talk a lot about this in videos, like what is holding you guys back. And so I think that this is really a way that you guys can start planning your month, is look at my videos and don't just like, it's good for it's good on how it resonates, but like try to take down actions on how you can plan out your month as a whole based off of the feelings that I'm getting for you guys, what I think is going to hold you back, when you guys are going to be frustrated. And everybody's like month isn't going to line up exactly because, you know, we're all individuals, but your month, like if it's resonating right now, then that's how your month is probably going to go. And so you can plan around that. And if it doesn't resonate for you right now, and then like a couple days later, like, whoa, like everything she said is like, I see how it's going to play out now, then your month is starting and you can start planning everything according to that. So just want to give you some insight on how I plan my life and my month and my week. I do the action stuff, figuring out your priorities. I think that's really important, and I don't say one way is better than the other, but then I also really think it's important to incorporate the emotional aspect of things so that you are really maximizing your productivity and success and not beating yourself up or creating situations where you're more frustrated than you really need to be. And also, like, knowing that I'm gonna be frustrated gives me the step back that I need to, like, when I hit that frustration mode, I'm like, I already know I was gonna be frustrated right now, and I know that this is the best way to deal with that, and like, I'm not gonna be upset with myself for being in this mood. I'm just gonna make the most of it that I can and really change the outcome, you know, because like, if I didn't do anything about my frustration and let it get to me, I would just be stuck in that place and I couldn't make the most of that knowledge that I have. But because I know I'm gonna be frustrated, I can take that like step back from this emotion and I can kind of look at it as the outside looking in and really think more strategically about how I want to use that time and how I want to treat myself. And because I know I'm going to be frustrated, I'm going to be kinder to myself. And because I'm kinder to myself, I'm going to be able to open up more ideas and solutions and really just make the day as good as it possibly can be. You know, like you have, like, seeing the future is really great. Like you can see the best potentials, like the most likely potentials that are going to happen, but nothing is set in stone, and you are, like, you interact with the future. Like you get to plan how things are going to roll out, how much they're going to affect you. And maybe you can't change the short-term future. Like maybe I can't change that I'm going to be frustrated this Friday, let's say. It's such short-term that probably it's not going to change. But the way that I deal with that frustration could change how the rest of the next month plays out for me. You know, like if I was stuck in this, like if I allow myself to stay stuck, the next month might not be so great, because like how your future gets set is on how you're feeling and your desires and your beliefs. And so if I allow myself to get frustrated and stay stuck, then the next month isn't going to be that much better. But now that I know, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take the broader view of this, and I'm going to take this time to be strategic, really plan out how I want to use this day of frustration and make the most of it and not allow it to get to me and feel the best about it. My future potentials have now been changed. So yeah, like I just want to say, this is basically how I like to plan my week and my month. Is like I like to have the actions. I also like to incorporate the emotions and plan around that, plan those actions around my like cycles and phases, and then really try to feel my best and take that more objective view, knowing how I'm going to feel so that I change the future potentials going forward, and like I can change the course of my life to be just better and better at every stage. So I hope this is helpful. I'm really curious about how you guys plan your weeks. Do you guys incorporate your emotions? I do know that a couple people on this channel like to plan according to moon cycles, and I think in my blue moon video I was like, yeah, I don't really go into moon cycles, but it is becoming a lot more of interest to me. I've been kind of tracking how I feel around moon cycles, and yeah, like I think moon cycles affect me, so I'm probably gonna start planning around those too. And I think the planning around that is kind of around like on full moons. I think on full moons you release. That's when you think about what you want to release that you no longer want to do it. It's kind of like removing your resistance and letting go of some baggage. And then I think on new moons is when you set your new intentions for the month, and it's like a more planetarily aligned, like stronger time to do that. So I don't know too much about that, but it is starting to become a lot more of interest to me. I've been getting into a lot of things. Maybe I'll tell you guys what I've been getting into at some point in another video, because I've been getting into a lot of interesting stuff for me. So yeah, anyways, yeah, that's how I plan my weeks and my months. Yeah, the actions and then the emotions, incorporating that, and then also not just incorporating it in terms of how to plan out my actions and when to do them, but also in terms of like how to handle the emotions so that I set myself up for a better future. And yeah, at some point, I guess, moon cycle. So yeah, I'm really curious about how you guys plan out your weeks and your months. Do you guys plan in advance? I feel like that taking that like ahead of you is really nice. It's really a nice way to be more strategic and like think about things in advance and yeah, just like know what's coming up and then accounting for that and using what's coming up to your advantage and kind of like bolstering yourself up for things that are not going to be to your advantage and like preparing for them and like making the most of them. Yeah, if you guys do anything different, I'm really curious. Like, please leave a comment below and tell me how you guys plan your week. Or I'm always curious. I'm definitely like a strategy planning type of person, so like I enjoy that stuff. I get so excited about planning my week. I mean, it's not that I don't procrastinate on it sometimes, but I get really excited about doing it. You know, like I kind of save it for the end because I want like my Sunday, the last thing to do, to be something like really fun, so I start off the week on the right foot and also like with really good energy. All right, guys. I think that wraps this up for this video. I hope this was helpful. Definitely very curious to know how you guys plan out your weeks, and I will catch you guys in my next video.